Hey everybody, still here. Daily Market Pulse for this Tuesday, March 4th, 2014. So we saw a big reversal today. Stocks score big gains in higher volume, extremely bullish move. So the sell-off yesterday into support was simply a test of the original breakout area, and it was a perfect opportunity to buy on the dip. So we're looking for higher levels from here. The distribution days remain the same, 3 and 1. NASDAQ being kind of mid-range in terms of how many there are. Everything looks good. Let's take a look at the charts. Okay, so the Dow came back down yesterday. Remember, it came right into the polarity area, essentially kind of a former resistance, now support. Right where the moving averages were at the 8, the 50-day moving average as well. The 20 has been rising and lagging, but nonetheless a key spot. It was kind of like do or die. It's either going to take it down or it's going to rebound. Now it rebounds aggressively, takes back pretty much everything it lost yesterday, and then some, makes a new higher close, right back into now almost like that 16.5 area, looking for higher gains. So it's right back now at the 1272 extension, looking for a breakout to go back to the 1618 at 16,700. S&P, you can see the huge size candle as well. So it came back down to the polarity at 1835 to 1850. It hit the 8 moving average, bounced off aggressively right into the 1272, same as the Dow Jones, looking for a move beyond 1880 into the 1618, which is above 1900 into the 1918, 1920 area. But look for 1900 as a start, since that's a nice round number. And of course, the support on the S&P will remain around that 1850 area. NASDAQ, you can see, dropped into the 4250 area, which was also polarity area, the breakout originally from a couple of weeks back. It did get below the 8 moving average, but immediately reversed. Look at that. Big bounce yesterday, at least finishing near its session high, but still, of course, negative for the day. But look at the rising window today, right into the top of the channel. Very aggressive move. Possibility here that we're looking for a break beyond the channel and changing the angle of the channel. That's possible. It's almost at the 1272, and again looking for the likelihood or possibility of 4450 to 4475. Support remains this window into, again, same thing, 40. We'll call it 4280 right now, and then as low as, of course, 4250, of course, as well. All right, the TSX here at the 14.3 came back. We had those multiple kind of doji spinning tops. We also had for shooting stars, bearish engulfing. It did really still look like a lot of profit taking. I've mentioned that before. Everything looked very, very much like profit taking into the 8 moving average, holding steady. And there's essentially a look at a breakout now. It needs to close above 14.3 probably to be even better. And then it's got more upside naturally from there. We look at the DAX real quick as well. Let's take a look there. Same thing into 9,400. It actually dipped into 9,300 yesterday, but pushed off right back into the 8 moving average. Looking to fill the window that was established essentially yesterday as well. It looks like it may have actually officially closed through it, but looking for the levels of 9,700, of course, eventually 9,800 once again. Let's move on to the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Still pretty neutral, just kind of sitting there going sideways at 110, 111. Nothing earth-shattering there. The euro, a little bit of a different story. Euro had that big push a couple days back on Friday right into the 138 plus area where the resistance was, has pulled back and just kind of going sideways now. So from that vantage point, it's going sideways, but we still see kind of a bullish sense of this. The 20 having crossed over the 50. Mind you, the 50 is still flat, but they're at least attempting to break above 138 and a quarter. Treasuries, on the other hand, they flushed pretty aggressively, as you can see. So the markets went higher, treasuries went lower. So even though things were looking like they were perched on the window from yesterday as well as above 135, they failed miserably into the 8, into the 20. Will they go lower? Will they hold and go higher? My sense would be that the markets are pretty strong right now, that this would fade or go sideways. Japanese yen. Recall, it also had the sell-off yesterday, but right back into a support area, in my opinion, the breakout area of the trend line, including the levels of the lows of the 9,750 area, etc. So, and a rising 50 in close proximity. So I'm going to assume that this is going to hold, at least for now, and we'll see what happens next. Let's take a look at gold. Gold had a downside day because yesterday was real strong, went up, looking to thrust into 1360. Today declined essentially back toward the 8 moving average, just kind of just testing, retesting. Looks like 1340 for whatever reason, but 1360 remains the target upside with support at 1320. Silver back into the 200, rising 20 right there in proximity. Still looking for some kind of a bounce that will occur here. Still looking for silver to catch up to gold and get back to 22 plus. Okay, CL, we know that crude had popped aggressively yesterday, starting with Sunday's start of the pit when it opened on Sunday, took off and then held those levels fairly strong into the 105 area. Came right back today to essentially test the breakout area immediately. So we had 2 weeks worth of testing 103 from the downside up. Now it's come back from the top side down to test 103 as well. 20's caught up, it's crossed over the 200, 50 still rising. So I would fully expect 103 to hold, and we're looking for higher levels of 105 to 108, maybe 110 at some point as well. So we can take a peek at natural gas maybe. Yeah, natural gas, of course, after that huge thrust higher into 640 plus, has just absolutely collapsed back to the 50-day moving average and the original breakout area near 450 to 460. So it's holding steady for now, looking for a possible move back toward 520. And let's take a look at the small caps, and then we'll look at the VIX right afterwards. So small caps, there's your breakout. So it was a little bit of an attempt before. It was a moderate breakout, pulled back into the 8 to test, as well as 116, and then catapulted higher, new higher close. Very aggressive, very bullish. Plenty of room still in the stochastics after it's been reset for this to all go higher. VIX, on the other hand, was perched above the moving averages, right at the resistance, essentially, of the window area. Better put that in there so you can see it right here. There was the window, and that would be the area that was the target on the way up, and it tagged that. And then, of course, falling. It had a rising window yesterday, falling window today, right back to where it was before, below 15, into that 1350 area as potential support. So everything looks bullish. Everything looks strong. The yen Treasuries may just be slow and taper and go sideways, possibly lower, but it may just go sideways where the markets could actually still grind higher as well.